Revealed. Extremely rich NBA players who live like they're broke. These men earned hundreds of millions of dollars. One still streams music with commercials. One stored his entire salary under a mattress for a decade. One set a hard limit of $5,000 a month, while cashing checks most people will never see in a lifetime. And the man at number one became a billionaire while refusing to pay for a $4 app. Today, Black Celebrity Secrets is counting down the NBA players who got rich and chose to live like they didn't. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because we drop these stories every single week. Drop a comment below before this video ends. Let's get into it. LeBron James Sr. He is the richest active athlete in professional sports history. Not because of one lucky deal, because of a philosophy so simple it sounds ridiculous. Do not pay for what you do not need. LeBron James was born December 30th, 1984 in Akron, Ohio, raised by a single mother who stretched every dollar to its limit. That upbringing never left him. Drafted first overall in 2003 by Cleveland at 18 years old, he built a career that produced 4 NBA championships, 4 Finals MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs, and the all-time NBA scoring record, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in February 2023 with 38,388 career points. His Nike lifetime deal alone is estimated at over $1 billion. His Spring Hill Entertainment Company merged with Fulwell 73 into a global media operation. He holds equity in Fenway Sports Group, owners of the Boston Red Sox and Liverpool FC. His Blaze Pizza investment helped the chain expand to over 700 locations. Career. NBA salary approaches $530 million, and he still uses free Pandora, with commercials. During his time in Cleveland, teammates noticed the locker room music kept getting interrupted by ads because LeBron was streaming on the free tier. Nobody in that building needed a $4.99 subscription more than the man controlling the playlist. His teammate Dwayne Wade publicly called him the cheapest guy in the NBA. LeBron's response? That is so falsely true. When reminded he was worth hundreds of millions, he said simply, "I'm not paying for it." He does not turn on data roaming. He does not buy apps. While peers spent $30,000 on nightclub tables, LeBron was buying equity stakes in companies that would multiply for decades. The free Pandora account is not a quirk. It is the exact same mindset that built the largest financial empire in NBA history. Discipline does not take days off. Not on the court, not in the bank account. Shaquille O'Neal. He spent nearly his entire first Lakers paycheck in a single afternoon. Then that mistake changed everything. Shaquille O'Neal was born March 6, 1972, in Newark, New Jersey, raised by Army Sergeant stepfather Philip Harrison, whose discipline became the foundation of everything Shaq built. Drafted first overall by Orlando in 1992, he averaged 23.4 points and 13.9 rebounds as a rookie, the first player since Michael Jordan to earn an All-Star selection that season. His Orlando rookie contract was worth $17.4 million over 4 years. He did not spend a single dollar of it, living entirely off endorsement money until his first child arrived in 1996. His financial advisor, Lester Nispel, met by chance at a bar, taught him a principle he never forgot. Save half, then save half of the remaining half, and only spend what is left. Then came the Lakers. A 7-year, $120 million deal, the largest in NBA history at the time. Shaq expected $20 million annually. His first check arrived at $10.9 million. California state taxes, entertainment levies, and federal withholding had consumed over $9 million before he received a cent. He had already spent $9 million on cars and property. His agent called to explain the math. "Boy, was I upset with myself," he said years later. That tax shock permanently altered his approach to wealth. He earned $286 million in NBA salary across 19 seasons, won 4 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, and 15 All-Star selections. Post-retirement, he built one of the most diversified athlete business portfolios in history. Papa John's franchises, Five Guys restaurants, Big Chicken chain, Ring, acquired by Amazon for $1 billion, early Google equity, and a TNT inside the NBA contract worth approximately $15 million annually. From a $10.9 million lesson in California taxes to $500 million. The mistake paid for itself 1,000 times over. Hakeem Olajuwon. He built a $300 million real estate empire after retirement, using 0 borrowed money. Not a single dollar of debt. In a real estate world built entirely on leverage, Hakeem Olajuwon built his fortune without it. Born January 21, 1963, in Lagos, Nigeria, Olajuwon did not touch a basketball until age 15. He arrived at the University of Houston, led the legendary Phi Slamma Jamma squad to back-to-back NCAA finals, and was selected first overall in the historic 1984 NBA draft, ahead of Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley. Over 18 seasons with Houston and Toronto, he won back-to-back championships in 1994 and 1995, both times earning Finals MVP. In 1994, he became the only player ever to win regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same season. He holds the NBA's all-time blocks record at 3,830. His career salary totaled approximately $110 million. By the time he retired in 2002, he had quietly purchased 12 downtown Houston parking lots. Nobody noticed. That was the point. He then bought land near Houston's expanding light rail system, near Minute Maid Park, near the Texas Medical Center, and developed a 41-acre retirement community near NASA's Johnson Space Center. He purchased the former Houston Federal Reserve Bank building for $4.3 million, leased it back to the Federal Reserve for steady income, then sold it at significant profit. He acquired the former World Trade Center building near downtown. Every transaction paid in full, in cash, guided by his Islamic faith's prohibition on interest-based debt. By 2006, he had completed over $100 million in real estate transactions. His current net worth stands at $300 million, nearly 3 times his entire playing career earnings, built entirely after the final buzzer sounded. While others spent their careers, Olajuwon invested his. The dream shake never stopped working. It just moved from the paint to the property market. Carmelo Anthony. He grew up in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and the streets of West Baltimore. No matter how many millions arrived, those streets never left him. And that is precisely why the money stayed. Carmelo Anthony was born May 29, 1984, in Brooklyn. His father died of cancer when Carmelo was 2. His family relocated to Baltimore's toughest neighborhoods, where survival was not a metaphor. Basketball became the exit. At Syracuse in 2003, he led the Orange to their first NCAA championship, was named Tournament Most Outstanding Player, and declared for the draft after 1 season. Denver selected him 3rd overall. Over 19 NBA seasons with the Nuggets, Knicks, Thunder, Rockets, Trailblazers, and Lakers, he made 10 All-Star appearances, led the league in scoring in 2012-13 with 28.7 points per game, and won 3 Olympic gold medals with Team USA. In 2025, he was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Career NBA salary exceeded $262 million. Total earnings, including endorsements, approached $410 million. During his Knicks years, earning $24 million annually, he cut coupons from the Sunday newspaper. He confirmed it himself in 2011. "I go to the supermarket, get the newspaper, and tear the coupons out. Save $1 or $2. I'm human too." His primary vehicle was a customized Jeep Wrangler. Not a Bugatti, a Jeep. Post-career, He built Mellow 7 Tech Partners with investments in Lyft, DraftKings, SeatGeek, and Clubhouse. He co-launched a $750 million growth equity fund targeting sports team ownership. He runs Creative 7, a film and television production company. The coupon habit was never about saving $2. It was about the mindset that refuses to waste. The same mindset that turned $410 million in earnings into a $160 million net worth and a diversified business empire. Baltimore taught him not to waste anything. He never forgot the lesson. Kawhi Anthony Leonard, 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 1 1997 Chevy Tahoe with rust on the bumper. The math does not add up until you understand who Kawhi Leonard actually is. Born June 29, 1991 in Los Angeles, Leonard lost his father to murder at a family car wash in Compton during his teenage years. That loss shaped everything: his silence, his focus, and his absolute refusal to perform wealth for anyone's benefit. He played 1 season at San Diego State before being drafted 15th overall in 2011, traded immediately to San Antonio, and developed into the most complete two-way player of his generation. His 2019 championship run with Toronto is considered one of the greatest individual playoff performances in modern NBA history. His buzzer beater against Philadelphia in Game 7 of the second round, a 4-bounce prayer that decided a series, remains one of the most replayed moments in basketball history. His 2024-25 salary with the Clippers reached $52 million annually. For years after signing a $94 million contract, he drove a 1997 Chevy Tahoe he nicknamed Gas Guzzler, purchased as a teenager, kept running because it still worked and was fully paid off. He once panicked more about losing his Wingstop coupons than about any contract negotiation. He spent summers in a 2-bedroom apartment with a $15 door-mounted basketball hoop for entertainment. He has since added a Porsche 911 and a Rolls-Royce Cullinan to his life, and owns a $17 million Pacific Palisades estate, a $13 million San Diego home, and a $7 million penthouse near the Staples Center. The wealth grew, exactly as it was supposed to. His estimated net worth stands at $160 million. Built in silence, spent in proportion, and guarded with the same intensity he brings to guarding the NBA's best scorers every single night. Kevin Wayne Durant. Most athletes retire and invest. Kevin Durant invested while still playing, and by the time most people noticed, he had already built something that dwarfs his basketball salary. Kevin Durant was born September 29, 1988, in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. Drafted 2nd overall in 2007, he won 2 NBA championships with Golden State in 2017 and 2018, both times earning Finals MVP. He holds 1 regular season MVP, 2014, 14 All-Star selections, and averaged over 27 points per game for his career, one of the most efficient scorers in basketball history. His salary earnings across Oklahoma City, Golden State, Brooklyn, Phoenix, and Houston exceeded $350 million. But the more interesting number is what he built alongside those contracts. Through 35 Ventures, co-founded with business partner Rich Kleiman, Durant took equity stakes in more than 35 companies. His investment in Postmates paid off when Uber acquired the company for $2.65 billion in 2021. He backed Acorns, Rubrik, and multiple sports media startups well before athlete investing became fashionable. He co-founded Boardroom, a sports and culture media company reaching tens of millions of viewers. He invested in Major League Pickleball, the fastest-growing sport in America. His personal lifestyle remains notably understated relative to his earning power. No outsized entourage, no public displays of consumption that match his income level. The money goes into equity, not exhibition. His estimated net worth exceeds $300 million and continues compounding through active portfolio management. Durant understood something early that most athletes discover too late. The real game is not played on the court. It is played in the cap table, and he started playing it at 25. Timothy Theodore Duncan. He voluntarily gave up tens of millions of dollars so his teammates could stay. And he won 5 championships because of it. That trade-off, sacrifice now, win together, is the most underrated financial philosophy in NBA history. Timothy Duncan was born April 25, 1976, in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Drafted first overall by San Antonio in 1997, after 4 full seasons at Wake Forest, he spent his entire 19-year career with the Spurs, winning championships in 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, and 2014, earning 3 Finals MVPs and 2 regular season MVPs. Widely regarded as the greatest power forward in basketball history. In 2012, he signed a 3-year, $30.3 million deal, well below market value, allowing the Spurs to retain Boris Diaw, Danny Green, and Patty Mills, who contributed directly to the 2014 title. In 2015, he signed a 2-year deal worth just $10.8 million, so San Antonio could sign LaMarcus Aldridge, David West, and extend Kawhi Leonard. His total career earnings exceeded $241 million. He also lost over $24 million to fraudulent investments by financial advisor Charles Banks IV, who was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison in 2017. Duncan's public response was measured. "Luckily, I had a long career and made good money. This is a big chunk, but it's not going to change my life in any way." Post-retirement, he runs Blackjack Speed Shop, an automotive customization business with 2 Texas locations, and returned to the Spurs as an assistant coach in 2019. His estimated net worth stands at $100 to $130 million. The big fundamental applied the same principle to money that he applied to basketball. No flash, no waste, maximum efficiency. 5 rings proved the approach correct. Kevin Maurice Garnett. For nearly a decade, one of the highest-paid athletes in the world stored his salary under his mattress. Not as a joke, as a survival strategy rooted in a childhood where banks were not part of the equation. Kevin Garnett was born May 19, 1976, in Greenville, South Carolina. Drafted 5th overall by Minnesota in 1995 directly from high school, he became the first player in 20 years to skip college for the NBA. By 1997, he had signed a 6-year, $126 million extension. At the time, the largest contract in professional sports history. He did not know what a wire transfer was. He did not have direct deposit. He cashed his checks and kept the money at home. "I wasn't financially savvy. I didn't know none of this," he admitted on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The habit continued for roughly 10 years. Millions of dollars stored under a mattress because trust had not yet been built with institutional finance. The instinct was correct, even if the execution was unconventional. Protect what you earn. Trust nothing you do not understand. Over 21 seasons with Minnesota, Boston, Brooklyn, and back to Minnesota, Garnett earned $334.3 million in total salary, once the highest career earnings in NBA history. He won an NBA championship with the 2008 Celtics, earned the 2004 MVP award, and made 15 All-Star appearances. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2020. His net worth of approximately $120 million survived a $77 million lawsuit against a former accounting firm over alleged unauthorized fund removal, a case that was settled privately. Post-retirement, he built big-ticket sports, acquired the Hoop It Up 3-on-3 basketball tour, launched a podcast, published an autobiography titled KG A to Z, and appeared in the 2019 film Uncut Gems alongside Adam Sandler. From mattress savings to $120 million. The discipline was always there, It just needed the right infrastructure around it. Giannis Antetokounmpo. From selling watches on the streets of Athens to scoring 50 points in an NBA Finals closeout game. That distance, measured in years, in sacrifice, in deprivation, explains everything about why Giannis Antetokounmpo still lives like he has nothing, even when he has everything. Born December 6, 1994 in Athens, Greece, to Nigerian immigrant parents Charles and Veronica, Giannis and his brother Thanasis sold sunglasses, CDs, and DVDs on the streets from age 6 or 7 to help the family survive. They were stateless, unable to claim Greek or Nigerian citizenship, until Giannis gained Greek citizenship in May 2013, weeks before the NBA draft. They shared a single pair of shoes for basketball. The Milwaukee Bucks selected him 15th overall in 2013. During his rookie season, he went to Western Union to wire money to his family in Greece, spent everything he had, then had no money left for a taxi to the arena. Strangers drove him to the game. Today, his 5-year, $228 million Supermax extension averages $45.6 million annually. A 3-year, $186 million extension signed in 2023 secures his future through 2026. His Nike Zoom Freak deal generates approximately $10 million annually. Forbes estimates his total annual income at $94 to $111 million in peak years. His accomplishments: back-to-back MVPs in 2019 and 2020, 2021 NBA champion, 2021 Finals MVP with 50 points in Game 6, 9 consecutive All-Star selections, Defensive Player of the Year in 2020. His former teammate Drew Holiday described him publicly as the cheapest guy I know. He's got all that money, but he's still living like he doesn't have any. His $1.8 million home in River Hills, Wisconsin, is modest by any NBA standard. He drove himself to games for years when teammates were arranging private transportation. The streets of Athens did not just shape his hunger on the court, they shaped his relationship with money permanently. And no contract, however large, has changed that. Christopher Emmanuel Paul. He is the player every young NBA rookie calls when they need to understand money. Not because he lectures, because he leads by example. And the example has produced $160 million in verified net worth across 2 decades of disciplined earning and conservative spending. Christopher, 11 All-Star selections, 2-time assists champion, 9 all-defensive team selections. Consistently regarded as the most technically precise point guard of his generation. A player whose mastery of pace, angles, and decision-making set the standard for the position for 15 years. When Trey Burke entered the NBA in 2013 and needed guidance on financial foundations, one of the first veterans he reached out to was Chris Paul. That detail is documented in the Deseret News. Paul gave him time without hesitation. His own financial approach mirrors his playing style. Nothing wasted, everything deliberate. He was among the earliest NBA players to invest in plant-based food companies and health-focused startups before that sector became mainstream. His portfolio includes equity in sports media, real estate, and wellness brands built over years of patient accumulation rather than flashy single bets. He negotiated contracts with a long-term perspective that occasionally surprised teams expecting maximum short-term aggression. He consistently prioritized security and positioning over peak annual figures, a strategy that compounded significantly over 2 decades. His estimated net worth of $160 million reflects 20 years of the same discipline he applied to running a pick-and-roll. No wasted motion, no unnecessary expenditure, maximum efficiency from every dollar earned. Jeffrey Lee Foster. Bloomberg called him the Warren Buffett of basketball. That is not a compliment. That is a financial assessment. And it is accurate. Jeffrey Foster was born January 16, 1977, in Kingman, Texas. He played 13 seasons as a center and power forward for the Indiana Pacers from 1999 to 2012. One franchise, one philosophy, zero deviation. Over those 13 years, he earned approximately $60 million in NBA salary. He was never an all-star. He never led the league in any statistical category. He was the player who did the things that do not appear in box scores: screens, defense, positioning, rebounding, and who quietly directed 3/4 of every paycheck into long-term investments rather than immediate consumption. Not half, 3/4. While teammates upgraded lifestyles with each contract renewal, Foster maintained the same spending framework from his first year to his last. Modest vehicles, no status competition, no lifestyle inflation. The moment that defines his story came during the 2011 NBA lockout. When the season stopped and income disappeared, many of his peers scrambled, unprepared for interrupted paychecks they had spent freely. Foster sold his Porsche, not from financial desperation, from disciplined refusal to carry an unnecessary expense during a period of zero income. He adjusted immediately, without drama, and without compromise. His estimated net worth of $22 million represents career earnings that were preserved, compounded, and protected over 13 years of professional basketball. The gap between his $60 million in earnings and his $22 million net worth reflects taxes, living expenses, and the ordinary costs of life, not reckless spending. In a league where the average career lasts 4 to 5 years, and 60% of retired players face financial distress within 5 years of retirement, Jeff Foster built something durable. Bloomberg noticed. And Bloomberg does not use the Warren Buffett comparison lightly. DeShawn Quadron Stevenson. He looked at the modern banking system and decided he could do better. So he built his own, inside his living room. DeShawn Stevenson was born April 3, 1981, in Fresno, California. Drafted by Utah in the first round of the 2000 NBA draft, he played 14 seasons across the Jazz, Magic, Wizards, Hawks, Mavericks, Nets, and Bulls, earning tens of millions of dollars and winning an NBA championship with the 2011 Dallas Mavericks alongside Dirk Nowitzki. He installed a functioning ATM machine inside his home. Not decorative, fully operational. His friends and associates could use it to withdraw cash, and every transaction carried a $4.50 fee that went directly to Stevenson. TMZ covered it. Rob Dyrdek praised it publicly. The internet debated whether it was genius or absurd. Mathematically, it is genius. 20 transactions per day at $4.50 generates $90 daily, $32,850 annually, from a machine in his living room that required zero active effort after installation. That is passive income at its most literal. Most people spend their careers hoping to build passive income streams. Stevenson literally put one in his house. Beyond the ATM, he maintained spending discipline throughout his career that allowed him to exit the league with his finances intact. He never built the kind of outsized public profile that attracts the financial predators who target high-earning athletes. He lived within his means, avoided the lifestyle traps that have bankrupted far wealthier players, and found genuinely creative ways to generate income that did not depend on his next contract. His estimated net worth stands at approximately $10 million. It is not the largest number on this countdown by any measure, but the ATM story represents something every person watching this should understand. Passive income does not have to be complicated, and sometimes the most effective financial tools are the ones nobody expects. Matthew Ryan Bonner. 2 NBA championship rings, 12 years as a professional basketball player, 0 shoe endorsement deals, until he begged for one on Twitter. And somehow, that is the most financially honest story on this entire countdown. Matthew Bonner was born April 5, 1980, in Concord, New Hampshire. He played 12 NBA seasons, spending his most significant years with the San Antonio Spurs from 2006 to 2016. He won championships in 2007 and 2014 alongside Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. contributing as a reliable three-point shooter and one of the most respected locker room presences in the Spurs dynasty. Off the court, he was known for something far less glamorous: extreme financial restraint. He wore the same shoes past reasonable replacement timelines. He drove modest vehicles. He did not compete with teammates for lifestyle status. He spent his career doing the opposite of what NBA culture typically rewards publicly. The defining moment came in 2014. Bonner, holding 2 championship rings and an active NBA contract, could not secure a footwear endorsement deal. No company called. No agent was fielding offers. So he went on Twitter and publicly campaigned for one, tagging companies, making his case directly to brands, and being completely transparent about the situation. The Boston Globe covered it. Fox Sports covered it. The internet found it genuinely charming. Reebok eventually responded. The deal was modest, but it was earned through persistence and authenticity rather than a bidding war between competing brands fighting for his signature. His estimated net worth of approximately $8 million reflects a career where earnings were preserved rather than displayed. The Twitter shoe campaign is funny, but the discipline behind it is serious. Bonner spent 12 years in the most image-conscious league in professional sports and never once changed who he was to fit the environment. That consistency, applied to money over a decade, is worth more than most people realize. Trey Jordan Burke. He earned millions as a professional basketball player and chose to live on $5,000 a month. That single decision separates him from almost every athlete on this countdown, because he made it at 20 years old, before the habits had any chance to form. Trey Burke was born November 12, 1992, in Columbus, Ohio. He was selected 9th overall in the 2013 NBA Draft after a spectacular sophomore season at Michigan that produced 18.6 points and nearly 7 assists per game, a national championship game appearance, and the Bob Cousy Award as the nation's top point guard. The Minnesota Timberwolves selected him and immediately traded him to the Utah Jazz. His career took him through the Jazz, Washington Wizards, New York Knicks, Dallas Mavericks, and Philadelphia 76ers. His contracts totaled approximately $27 million in career earnings. His monthly personal spending budget throughout that career? $5,000. Not $50,000, not $15,000, $5,000. A figure that places him in middle-class America by deliberate choice, not necessity. When he entered the league, his family hired Michigan-based Compass Management, run by Daniel Silman and the son of Detroit Pistons president Joe Dumars, to help establish financial discipline from day one. His rookie salary was $2.4 million. His monthly spending limit was set immediately. The $5,000 covers everything: rent, food, transportation, utilities, personal expenses. Everything beyond that goes to savings and investment. Burke discussed it openly in a Deseret News interview, crediting veteran guidance and professional management for establishing the framework early. Once you get the good habits, the rest is easy. His net worth stands at approximately $8 million, built on career earnings nearly 3 times that figure. The difference between what he earned and what he kept is explained not by reckless spending, but by taxes, fees, and the ordinary costs of life managed within a disciplined framework. In a league where most rookies spend their first contract before understanding what they earned, Trey Burke built a budget at 20 and never broke it. That discipline is not the story of a man who lived poorly. It is the story of a man who chose exactly how he wanted to live and held that choice for an entire career. Hakeem Olajuwon. We saved the most instructive story for last. Not the richest, not the most famous, the most principled, the most patient, and the most complete proof that how you build wealth matters as much as how much you earn. Hakeem Olajuwon was born January 21, 1963, in Lagos, Nigeria. He did not touch a basketball until age 15. He arrived at the University of Houston, led the Phi Slamma Jamma teams to back-to-back NCAA finals, and was selected first overall in the legendary 1984 draft, ahead of Michael Jordan. Over 18 NBA seasons, he won back-to-back championships in 1994 and 1995, earned Finals MVP both years, and in 1994 became the only player in history to win regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP simultaneously. He holds the NBA all-time blocks record at 3,830 career blocks. His total career salary was approximately $110 million. By retirement in 2002, he had quietly purchased 12 downtown Houston parking lots. No press release, no announcement, just 12 lots, fully paid, generating steady income while the city grew around them. He then identified properties near Houston's expanding infrastructure, light rail corridors, the Texas Medical Center, Minute Maid Park, NASA's Johnson Space Center. He bought the former Federal Reserve Bank building for $4.3 million, leased it back to the Fed for income, then sold at substantial profit. He developed a 41-acre retirement community near NASA. He acquired the former Houston World Trade Center. He converted one building into a mosque. Every single transaction was conducted in cash. His Islamic faith prohibits interest-based debt, so he never borrowed. Every property was fully owned from the moment of purchase. In a real estate industry built entirely on leverage, Hakeem Olajuwon built a $300 million portfolio without borrowing a dollar. By 2006, he had completed over $100 million in transactions. His current net worth stands at $300 million, nearly 3 times his entire playing career earnings, built entirely after his final game. The Dream Shake retired. The real dream kept building. 15 players, billions of dollars earned between them, and every single one of them understood something that most people with far less money never figure out. Wealth is not what you spend, it is what you keep. But here is the question nobody wants to answer honestly. Is this genuine humility, or is it just another form of control? When a billionaire refuses to pay for Pandora, is that discipline, or is that something else entirely? We want to hear exactly what you think. Drop your most honest take in the comments right now. Black Celebrity Secrets reads every single one. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because the next list we are building will hit even harder than this one.